Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like someone had power over you, not because they forced it, but because you let them? Like their silence made you anxious? Like their mood decided whether you had a good day or not? Here's a hard truth. No one can control a person who doesn't crave their approval. That kind of person, the one who doesn't flinch when they're judged, who doesn't bend just to be liked, is free. The real question isn't, how do I stop people from manipulating me? The real question is, when did I hand them the keys? When did I start shrinking so someone else could feel bigger? See, we often think the enemy is them, the manipulator, the gaslighter, the critic, but that's just the surface. The real enemy? It's the part of you that needs something from them. Validation, approval, love. You think you have to earn. I know. It's uncomfortable to admit. But that's where change begins. Because the moment you stop outsourcing your sense of worth, the game changes. They can try to control you, sure, but they're no longer holding the strings because you're no longer handing them over. So today, I want you to pause and ask yourself, where am I giving away my power? Because owning that is the beginning of freedom. Not by controlling others, but by mastering yourself. Let's break this down. Manipulation doesn't start with them. It starts with you, with how you react. They say something sharp, your heart skips a beat. They go quiet, you start overthinking, maybe even chasing them. They express disappointment. You rush to apologize, even when you didn't do anything wrong. Sound familiar? That space between what they do and what you choose to do next, that's where the power lives. That's the moment where manipulation either takes root or dies. The truth is, no one can manipulate you unless there's something inside you that still needs something from them. Let that sink in. Whether it's validation, attention, approval, or love. If you're still chasing it from someone else, you're playing on their field, by their rules. I've been there, people-pleasing, over-apologizing, twisting myself into someone else's expectations. It feels like connection, but it's really control dressed in disguise. So, what do? We take back the pause. We reclaim the gap between stimulus and response. Because when you stop reacting automatically, when you stop needing something from them, you stop being an easy target. You don't have to fight them. You just have to see the game and choose not to play it. That's not cold. That's clarity. And clarity is freedom. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And the older I get, the more I realize he was absolutely right. You want freedom? Real freedom? It's not about having control over others. It's about having control over yourself. Because here's the truth. As long as you're still chasing validation, attention, or love from people who haven't earned the right to influence you, you're handing them the remote control to your emotions. I get it. We all crave connection. We all want to feel seen, appreciated. But when that need becomes a dependency, we become vulnerable. And manipulators can smell that a mile away. So what's the way out? You build from within. You create an inner world that's strong, stable, and full, so you don't constantly reach outward to feel okay. This is where Stoicism comes in. People think it's about being emotionless. It's not. It's about being emotionally disciplined. You still feel, but you don't flinch. You learn to respond intentionally, not react impulsively. You observe without absorbing every storm someone else brings into the room. Imagine walking into a situation where people try to guilt you, provoke you, or get under your skin, and you just don't bite. That's power. That's peace. That's what happens when you stop being ruled by the chaos around you and start mastering the calm within you. Let's clear something up right now. If you've ever been manipulated, it doesn't mean you're weak. It means you weren't aware yet. You see, people don't get controlled because they're broken. They get controlled because they don't see the patterns. Let me ask you something personal. When do you start losing yourself? Is it when someone doesn't text you back? Is it when you're publicly criticized, or when someone gives attention to everyone but you? Whatever moment popped into your mind just now, that's not your weakness. That's your starting line. That's the edge of your awareness. You can't change what you don't notice. And manipulators, they thrive in your blind spots. But the moment you pause and ask, why did I react that way? That's when things begin to shift. Not out there, but in you. Start watching your emotional patterns like a scientist. When do you shrink? When do you chase? When do you apologize just to keep the peace? That's not judgment, it's data, it's feedback. And the more you understand your own emotional wiring, the harder it becomes for anyone to pull your strings. Self-awareness doesn't make you harder, it makes you stronger, because the one who knows himself is already free from the games of those who don't. Here's something that might sting a little. Manipulators don't need to be strong. They just need to know you better than you know yourself. They don't overpower you. They out-understand you. All it takes is one well-placed compliment, and suddenly, you're bending over backward to please them. They go silent and you chase. They sigh, look disappointed, and without thinking, you're already apologizing. But here's the hard truth. They don't need to take control. You gave it away. Not because you're weak, but because your emotional patterns are predictable. And predictability is power for them. Let's be real for a second. How many times have you worked harder just because someone praised you a little? How often have you lost sleep trying to fix someone's silence instead of fixing your own boundaries? These aren't flaws, they're habits. And every habit can be rewired. The answer isn't to become colder or tougher, it's to become clearer. Clearer about who you are, what you value, and what you're no longer willing to react to. Because once you become aware of the patterns, you stop dancing to someone else's tune. And when they can't read you, they can't lead you. So, how do you escape the game? You stop needing to win it. You stop needing the person. You stop needing the validation. You stop needing anything outside of yourself to feel whole. It sounds simple, but it's radical. Because manipulation only works when we want something from someone. Attention, affection, approval, or even just a reply. But the moment you no longer crave what they're dangling in front of you, the game collapses. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." And that's the essence right there. You were never meant to control other people. That's not power. That's panic wearing a crown. True strength? It's calm, quiet, unshakable. It's knowing you are enough without anyone's permission slip. Let go of needing an outcome. Let go of needing closure from someone who benefits from keeping you confused. Let go of the story that says you're only worthy when someone else decides you are. The real game isn't about them. It's about you reclaiming yourself. And when you do, they can't play you anymore. You want to know the most powerful move you can make in a world full of manipulation? Don't play. Stay calm. Stay grounded. Don't react, don't chase, don't flinch, and suddenly they can't win. Not because they stopped playing the game, but because you stopped showing up to the arena. When you need nothing from the outside, you become unreadable. You stop being predictable. You stop being controllable. That's when you become dangerous, in the best way. You'll recognize someone like this. Their eyes don't scan the room for approval. Their posture doesn't scream, "Notice me." Their voice? It's slow, deliberate, and doesn't fill silence with noise. They don't beg, because they are full, from within. They don't get pulled into chaos. They observe it. They aren't cold. They're disciplined. They're not distant. They're aware. They're not aggressive. They're steady. True power isn't loud. It's the quiet confidence of someone who doesn't need to prove anything. And life will test this. It'll seduce you, guilt you, provoke you. But if you know who you are, no illusion can hold you. When they misunderstand you, stay silent. When they try to manipulate you, stay still. Because silence is power. And the one who is truly free doesn't chase control. They live in control. If this speaks to you, please share in the comments below. Together, we can do better.